Hey y'all, what's up? This is your girl Angie, and I have another video, and I'm not as consistent, but I decided just to put something out there for the week before I end it out this week. So this video today, I am going to dedicate to my husband, my man, and thank you to my man. And I celebrated 8 years on Tuesday, so we have been married for 8 years. And that is in some age groups, like that is a great feat. Like that is a wonderful milestone. And when I look back on it, it's kind of surreal because it's like time goes by and you don't realize that, dang, next thing you know, what has the time went? Like we've been together for about 14, 15 years and we've been married for 8 of those. So I will be turning 35 shortly. And I look back on all the journeys that and trials that we went through in our marriage. And yeah, we had, like, my husband and I, we got some really good stories that we were sharing over dinner, and how, we were able to last as long and what keeps us going. A lot of the times, like when you've been married for so long, you don't look at the time. You just enjoy yourself in the moment. So I think one of those, like, that important thing seems to be what makes marriage last is when you are with your person and you're having a good time and you're able to weather through a lot of it, that you're not counting down the clock. It's literally time is just flowing by, and next thing you know, it's 10, 11 o'clock at night and you guys are still up and about and just going on, in your daily life. I look for many more years and more years to come, especially now that I'm at this phase of where I'm transitioning towards 40. Like, I'm actually looking forward to that because it's a whole nother different arena, like, of life that I get to go into. I get to walk in with a certain level of confidence. In my 20s, like, I didn't have that. And even going into my 30s, a little bit, it was a little shaky. But now it's like I'm a little bit more grounded. I'm a little bit more positioned. It's like I know where it is and where I want to be. I didn't know that 5 years ago. I really didn't know that 10 years ago. But this other phase, like, yes, I know I'm very certain of myself. As people say now, I'm stepping into my feminine energy. And I'm happy about that. I remember just to kind of, like, let people know that, marriage is not like an easy thing. You do have to work towards it. It is something that is a constant. It's going to be a constant. Anything you work towards is like going to the gym, working out. It's like reading, it's like doing anything on a consistent basis to get better and get good at it. Like, you don't become great at marriage overnight. You kind of develop different ways about yourself and you're learning to, like, maneuver. But the more you nurture it, the more you put intentionality in, for your marriage to be what it is, it's going to be what you want it to be. Nobody has a wonderful marriage where they just kicking back and not putting any effort. And part of that effort was, like, being able to date your partner, being able to look good for your partner. And I try my best to look great for him, even if I'm just sitting in the house. That you always want to make your man feel like he's dating the woman that he fell in love with years ago. Because men are just wired that way. Like, they want to see you the same, like, 30 years from now. Like, they want to still look at you with love in their eyes, with lust, no matter what type of physical changes your body goes through, they want you to look exactly the same. But then, of course, my husband knows that I'm going to change. I'm going to look different. And he loved me for that, for that reason. But I'm not doing a complete 180, like, I look like this and I'll turn around and just let myself go. I didn't care. your man still wants you to care about yourself. Like, those are some of the things you come to know, and you come to realize about yourself, and just being a little bit more sexier, being comfortable with your skin. I think that was one of the biggest takeaways, like, in my marriage, and understand that, we can work through anything. You can get through anything, and that we don't give up on each other. And I think one of the biggest things that we prided on ourselves when we got together, like, we didn't let money become the focal point of our relationship. To be honest with you, money has never really been a topic for us to fight. Like, money has never been anything remotely. I mean, there may have been certain little situations here or there where, some money was mentioned, but that was like early on into our relationship. I don't think we were married then. But even still, that, like, my husband has really leaned on being a provider. So that was something that I never had to worry about in our relationship. Like, I really never had to worry about. And then we just held each other down all this time. Like, me and my husband, like, we was together since college. So I've been with him through the hills and valleys, the peaks and the valleys. And same thing in our marriage. I've been with him through a lot. And even though today I can say confidently, like, my man, he takes care of business. Like, he takes care of me well. If I decided I don't want to work anymore, that's just my prerogative. If I want to do something else, like, I have that option to very much do that. My husband is not one of those guys that they require a woman to bring 50-50 to the table. My husband has never said that in his, my husband is, that is not even a thought for him. But my husband understands me. He understands I'm a hard worker. I'm a go-getter, that I want to make sure our family is good, So that's one of the things, but that's not one of the things, like, he loved about me. He loved, when I asked him, he liked our connection, our ability, like, where our personality meshes. And he likes the type of woman that I am, where I'll help take care of the house. I'll help take care of him. I'll do what I gotta do, like, in the strong sense of a man. Like, when he looks at a wife, this is what he is seeing on a daily basis. And I exude that. So I've learned to be a lot more submissive, because I realized that traditional, like, men are still caught up in some way in some traditional conforms, believe it or not. So he's not requiring me, I got to get a job. I got to be, like, makes XYZ amount of money. I got to bring 50-50. Like, that is not the type of relationship that we have. And sometimes when we talk about this 50-50, sometimes I think, like, my husband can lean into that provider mentality too much. And I know this, like, crazy that I'm saying this, because it made me sound like I'm ungrateful, but it's really not. Like, it's really just about, the quality time together, like, where, like, we have to still date each other, we still have to bond, we still have to connect. But don't be so into, like, your work, of where you're trying to provide a certain lifestyle that's you lead into that heavy. Like, I told him before, like, hey, if we have a month, like, where it's a little lean around here, I'm fine with not necessarily going out as often. I'm fine with not getting takeout. I mean, if we gotta cook, I'm fine with going through that for a month if that means I can get more time with you. If that means more time for our family. Like, I don't have to do those things, because my husband don't realize that. I mean, he does realize this, but I think that sometimes he forget, like, I kind of grew up poor. So I know what it is to go without. It's whatever. If we can do things, okay, we can do things. But if we can't, then we can't. Like, I'm not so much of a spoiled princess where I have to have it my way. Like, I can't look above my own selfish needs. So that's the type of husband that I got. And that's the type of, like, advice that, I guess I would recommend to a lot of younger couples starting out who wants to reach that marriage journey. Just enjoy the process. To just enjoy each other and don't stress about too much. I mean, we have worries. Like, there are going to be worries that you're going to encounter. But I think for the most part, long as you guys, y'all are a team, y'all have a plan, and y'all stick with it, I think you will also be fine too. But don't listen to these people with these red pill, blue pill talks that talk about this 50% to the table and all this and that. Like, I remember I even said a little comment, and I told my husband this, like, yeah, you want to get a man young and dumb. So some of the people were like eating me up with this. Like, they were saying, like, well, it was really like the man that was really saying something. And you can hear the drip of singleness, bitterness, and loneliness out of them, because sometimes people like to project their attitude on how they feel, right? So somebody called me a predator. Somebody said, oh, the math ain't mathing. And I said, well, I mean, I know in some way, like, I mean, I look like my age. I said, but I'm up there. Like, I'm up there in my 30s. Like, I'm, hitting towards 40. And I've been with my husband for a decade and a half. And so we've been together for a very long time. So for me, when I say get him young and dumb, he didn't have a lot to offer me. We were both in college. I didn't have a lot to offer him. But the one thing that I was able to offer him, I was able to offer my time. I was able to offer a chance for us to bond. I offered him all of me. So I don't see how that could be predatory at all. And I think that some people are just using words to deflect. Like, how am I being a predator when he didn't have nothing? Like, I didn't get him mid-established. Like, we built together. And I think that's funny. I think that's funny. Like, the mindset now is like, you can't even be a married person soliciting advice. So when I say young and dumb, I mean literally in the sense of that, yeah, you're young and you're making very, decisions that you're going to look back 10 years from now and say, well, that wasn't such of a smart decision, or 15 years. Well, why did I do that? And you look back and you laugh at stuff because you're just being what you think is the right way to do something. And maybe young and dumb shouldn't have not had been the word, but I mean, a lot of people, young and dumb, I mean, like, that's, it's a very harmless, like, play on word, young and dumb. Hell, I'm young and dumb. So my husband sees it from that perspective, and not so much of, I have an intention, I have a plan to, like, trap him. Like, how? How? Like, how am I going to trap him? Like, I mean, I'm dating with intention, ultimately. My husband knows this. Like, he knows that I said, hey, in order for me, I wanted to change. I was very rough around the edges when I was 18 in college. And the one thing that I prayed, and I said, really want to change myself. I really want to change and be a better person. I don't want to think in a certain mentality. I want to be able to broaden my horizons and not make dumb mistakes, like dating certain type of men that I should not have dated. Like, the same guy that I liked when I was 17 is not the same guy that I would think about dating at 27. Like, that, like, guys like that, like, repulse me, So yes, when I say get him young and dumb, not before, he gets to wise up. No, it's just dating with intentionality. So if that makes me a predator, then okay, fine, whatever. I'm a predator because I have standards and I want to date somebody who I feel like can be the best man for me, as opposed to waiting in 30 plus, where the dating pool, it just sounds like it's crap, but it's really like I'm finding a guy, fleshing a guy out in my college time, because that is the most men that you get to be around, that you get to really be exposed and see if they have good character. So that's the person that I fell for. I mean, even if my husband didn't make is what he's making, I would still be happy. So I just think that in order for you to have a successful marriage, and when you date with intention, date with a person be able to, yes, I had to date a potential. I wouldn't say date a potential at 30 versus 20, because, that's kind of, it's kind of, I wouldn't advise that dating a potential at 30. Like, you should have already got an idea. But just understanding, like, just date for all the right reasons. And if a guy is giving you red flags and requiring you to bring 50-50 to the table, like, you got to understand if that's the man you want. And if times get tough where you can't work, is he going to be the man that's going to make you miserable, like not make you feel like you need to be cherished. And my husband has always made it an effort to feel like I'm cherished. And that's what you want. You don't want to start off with all the problems, because trust me, marriage does not make it any better. And I'm not saying that I have the perfect marriage, because all marriages go through their ups and downs, peaks and valleys. So this video was, is dedicated to my husband, just to offer perspective from me as a wife and someone that wants to be a mom, that I can share my experience with my husband. And so hopefully you guys find this helpful. Please feel free to like and comment on my video, and just let me know your perspective, men and women. Let me know your perspective, and let me know what you learned in your marriage that I can obtain, and I can learn, and I can maybe do some things differently, because I'm always willing to learn how to do better, how to be a better person for the sake of my marriage and for my husband, and being a great wife. So yeah, if you haven't, please like and subscribe to my video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.